Hey guys, it is Marcus here. Hopefully you can hear me okay. If you can, let me know by typing something in the box. And we are ready to go. Today what we're going to do is we're going to show you what happened when I quit my job and started making like $10 million on the internet, or ended up making $10 million. Let's make sure our stream is okay. We had a little bit of an issue with the internet earlier today, so it looks like we are okay. If it drops or anything, just let me know, and we'll get you guys rocking and rolling. So let's preface this, and then we'll take you back to my journey. And if you can hear me okay, let me know by typing something in the box. We're going to take you back in my journey about 19 years, because 19 years ago, almost to the day, tomorrow is 4th of July, and I'll never forget it. It was like it was yesterday. And on the 4th of July of the year 2000, when I first opened my internet business back in March of that year, I remember I was over at my dad's house having a barbecue for 4th of July, and the burgers weren't that great because my dad only thinks that there's a high knob on the grill. He doesn't know that you can slowly cook things, but I've taken over barbecuing since then. So we were over at his house that day, and I remember driving home late at night after the fireworks and everything, and I get home to my busted up crazy mobile home with a bunch of drug addicts and everything like that, which was really, really not a good place to live. And so I get home after having spent the entire day at my dad's house, and I log into my ClickBank. Yes, ClickBank is pretty old, but it's pretty cool too. And I log into my ClickBank, and I'm like, whoa, I made $21 while I was gone on a 4th of July holiday having hamburgers with my family. And to me, that was a mind-blowing experience, because I was like, wait a minute, I had made money online by selling things, but this was the only time I actually made passive automatic income without having to do anything, right? This was a site that I set up months before, and all of a sudden, boom, it made money. And to me, that light bulb moment went off where I said, wow, this really works, right? How many of you guys have had that light bulb moment, or you're waiting for the light bulb moment, and you're like, wait a minute, this is where it's at, right? Type yes or waiting if you're that person in the box, because I want to preface this by asking you a very important question. And the question is do you want to keep struggling in a world of information overload and lack, or would you rather learn the most efficient and more effective ways of creating long-lasting economic freedom? Right? I'm going to say that again so it sinks in. Do you want to keep struggling in a world of information overload and lack, or would you rather learn the most efficient and more effective ways of creating long-lasting economic freedom? Very, very important. And I want to make a commitment to you right now, because you're spending time. Tomorrow's 4th of July, and you're spending some time with me. And I want to kind of preface this with you and make a commitment. And my commitment to you for the next 90 minutes is to show you the exact skills and methods that are effective in creating a marketing career. Not a job, not a gimmick, not a tactic, an actual career. Not just for me personally, but for many who benefit from the shared prosperity of the internet. And we got to remember that. This whole internet thing has a shared prosperity. Now, here's a little screenshot from July 4th, back like 19 years ago. And you could see I made $21.67 on that day without doing anything, which is crazy. Now, you might be thinking, Marcus, what's this whole shared prosperity thing? And many people think that there's just a handful of people, gurus and Amazon, that are making all the money, and there's not any left for the little guy, right? How many of you guys feel that way? Type little guy in the box if you feel like, hey, you know what? It seems like it's all going to the gurus, and the gurus are only making money selling stuff, and the regular dude can't make money, right? Type that in the box if you feel that way. And I want to let you know that that is absolutely false, right? That's a cognitive bias that has been fed by lots of other things, okay? You're not the little guy. There is room left for you, and you can make it happen. Because when I first started, I didn't have a lot of money. I didn't have a lot of influence. I didn't have a mailing list. I didn't even have a website. I didn't have anything, right? No skills. And I went out there and I said, I'm going to learn this and I'm going to do it. And now, while there are a few fat cats bucking the system, the fact is there are regular, hardworking, honest people like me and like you that are out there making a killing online every single day. So I want you to type in the box and think in your head, this can be me. And if you're watching this on the replay, type it in the box. Say, this can be me. Make a comment. Give us a thumbs up and a like. Make sure you subscribe and click the bell so that you get all of my videos. Now, while there's a lot of fat cats out there making some money, the fact is there's a way more honest, hardworking, regular people like you and I that are making a killing online. And like Troy says, it's going to be me. Francisco says, that's going to be me. David says, that's going to be me. And everyone now is typing in, that'll be me. Jessica, Carrie, Betsy, lots of people typing in, this'll be me. And it can be you. Because I remember being where you are, sitting in that mobile home saying, this is going to be me. And everyone around me said, this ain't going to work. You better go get a regular job. And I said, hell no, I'm going to do this because I know. Because I had a dream, and that dream made me do this. Okay? Now, I want you to imagine being able to live life on your own terms, having the economic freedom to do what you want when you want. Right? Imagine that. I want you to dream a little bit and think about how it works. Like Patty says, I just need to survive. I don't need millions. Right? And some people are there. Some people want to make millions. Some people just want to make it work. Okay? Like Loendi says, my job just ended the contract. I have to make it work. That's what I did. I put myself in a situation to make it work. Now, the question is, how did I get here? And this live training today is going to be all about how I got where I'm at today, what the steps were along the way, what the skills I learned were, and what happened in my mind along the way. Because I believe if I could take you by the hand and walk you through this journey that I've gone through for almost 20 years and show you what's going on, show you how it's even easier now and how it's very simple, I think you'll have those moments that are going to teach you something. And here's the deal. I want you guys all to let this sink in, because a lot of people say, you don't teach that right, or people don't teach it right, or whatever it is. I don't teach you anything, right? I can't teach you anything. You learn. Learning is an active process. So I want you to put your hat on, thinking hat, and say, learning is an active process, and I'm ready to learn. I'm ready to absorb what I need to absorb. Because here's the deal. No one out there is going to do this for you, but I'm going to get pretty damn close in showing you exactly what you need to do. Very important. Now, over the last 20 years, if we can take and reverse engineer my proven track record of success, I think you'll be able to share the same breakthrough moments that I had when I first started. And I want you to understand something at the front. Right up front, I want you to understand that wherever you're at, whatever you're dealing with, I get it and I understand you. I get what it's like to feel depressed, sitting at that computer at 3 a.m. saying, how the hell am I going to make this stupid box of wires produce an income for my family? How the hell am I going to do that? And I remember sitting there almost in tears. Actually, one time I was in tears. We found out that my girlfriend was pregnant, and I was trying to do my magic jobs, and I wasn't making a lot of money. And I was like, how am I going to do this? How am I going to do it? And I changed my thinking from how am I going to do it to what am I going to do? What am I going to do daily to make money over and over? Because you got to remember, this takes work. Now, I believe it's a lot easier than a 9-to-5 job in terms of that's a hard life. For me, I think if we understand where it's at, you guys will be able to know what to do. And I want you to understand that I get it. I get how hard the struggle is. I get what it's like to have a million different opinions. Oh, should I do Shopify? Should I do Amazon? Should I do eBay? Should I do AdSense? Should I make a blog? Should I make a website? Should I do a ClickFunnels? Should I do this? Should I do that? Membership site. And it spins your head out, and you're like, what the hell should I do? But I'm going to tell you one thing up front. All those things I just mentioned are tactics. Now, you might find a guru out there or a guy teaching who's like, I'm going to teach you Shopify. And that's good, but that's just a tactic. The reason I've lasted in this industry for 20 years is because I didn't focus on tactics. I focused on real-world solutions, real-world things that work time and time again. I focused on mindset. I focused on the psychology of how people work. Because you can learn tactics or you could learn how people respond. And if you learn how people respond, you're going to win any of the people who have all the tactics. Okay, very important. If you're struggling and find it difficult, I want you to know that I get it and I understand you. If you think all the fat cats just want your money, I get it. I felt that way too with less than $100 in my account, and everyone had the magic answer. And I didn't have the magic money to get the magic answer, so I had to like figure it out myself. To me, I want you to know that I've been in this industry 20 years. A lot of people are like, Marcus, are you going to, be my mentor and then just like run away? And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to take a couple $100 from you and then leave. Like that's a good business model, right? Make $200 and leave. Actually, what we do, we've been doing this a long time. I've been at this a long time. I've been teaching for almost 10 years now. Actually, I think 10 years now. And I want you to know that you're not just a dollar sign to me. I care about your success. There was actually a time in my life about 4 years ago when I could have promoted something to my affiliate marketing audience, and I probably could have added an extra $2 to $3 million to my bottom line, 100% profit. And I was like, should I do this? And then I looked at the product and I was like, that's not completely unethical, but it's a little twisted. And I chose not to promote that because it was a little twisted. And that's how I look at it, is I look at it as people are first, right? You got to put people over the profits, and you got to understand how it works in a really cool way. And that's how I run my business. And if you can jive with that, say, yeah, dude, this is cool. I want to do that. And you can do that in a cool way, not by like, going to someone's house and helping them, just by sharing some information online in a really cool way. But you're not just a dollar sign to me. I actually care about your success. Now, I want you to remember, when you're starting out, the little starting wins mean everything. I get more excited when one of you guys on the Facebook groups comes in and says, hey, I made my first dollar, than when I make a site and I make $10,000. Why? Because I know that little win for you is the beginning of something huge. Just like when I made that first $21 automatically in ClickBank on July 4th, 2000, or when Varun made $11 last week and he posted it, or Mitch, who struggled and struggled and struggled. He bought all kinds of things. He was going nuts. And finally, I was like, follow this path. He's like, well, what about this? I said, just ditch that. Follow this path. Well, I put the work. I said, come back to that later. Do this. And he finally did this, and he actually made money live on one of our calls. We actually documented it, and he's like, dude, that's cool. I actually made my first 2 sales live on a call. And it's insane when you look at it, because countless others, from a friend of mine who came in the business and went on to make like 70 million, or not 70, made $7 or $8 million, to the guy who called me 5 years ago after getting my course, and he said he's now retired and he lives on a beach, to Jermaine, who I was on a call with on Monday. He calls me up and he's like, dude, can you share with my audience? I'm like, yeah, who are you? And he's like, I bought your course back in 2011, and I still have the book, back when I used to ship out the book with the course. And he's like, dude, this is awesome. And he told me I haven't had a month under $30,000 in like 10 years or 8 years or whatever it was. And we look at that and it's like, wow, this can happen. This can happen. And on we go. You guys can see testimonials. You can see that people are really making this work. And I don't show you this to be like, oh, wow, here's all these people making money. I show you this to say, hey, it can work for you. Where you're sitting right now, this can work for you. I want you to say it. This works for me if I do it. This works for me if I do it. Very important, and you got to look at that. Now, I got to preface this because you see a lot of numbers. I've made almost 10, I think I've actually made over 10 million. I just haven't done the final numbers for this year because it's not over yet, right? But I've done over 10 million or close to, and these people have made a lot of money. Now, will you make a lot of money? I don't know. This is a business. I think we're all adults here, and I think we can all understand, if you open a store, there's a risk. There's a chance no one will come in your store. If you build a website, there's a chance that maybe nothing will happen. But what I'm going to show you is what I've done for 20 years that's worked time and time again, right? There's only a handful of websites that I've set up that didn't work, and they're ones that I set up as a test and I didn't follow through with. So the only reason they didn't work is because of me. Okay, so we got to look at that. So with that said, I don't know what you're going to earn. The average affiliate marketer earns nothing. The average affiliate marketer also does nothing. So we don't know. But I think you're going to have a fighting good chance if you listen to what I'm about to show you. So let's ask, how did it all happen? And I want you to walk through this. Listen to the stories. Let it sink in, because you're going to have the aha moments you've been looking for. You're going to learn things in a different way. Some people come on and they're like, Marcus, don't show me stories. Show me the tech stuff. And I'm like, no, because what's the deal? If I ask you 5 things I showed you technical, you won't remember. If I ask you 5 stories and how they impacted you, you're going to be like, yes, I remember that. Very, very important. So, how did all this happen? Back in 1999, this is what I look like. This is actually what I look like when my now wife met me and decided, yeah, that's a handsome folk. That's a handsome looking dude there, standing at a whopping 5'1" on a stool preaching in Santa Monica. So, I don't know, maybe she saw something that the rest of the world doesn't see. Maybe she liked the clown hat or whatever. But at any rate, in the year 1999, I was a magician. I was trying to make my magic stuff work. And we were going to go through, and I was trying to get more people to sign up. And I was working at McDonald's. I worked at McDonald's throughout my high school, and then I would do magic shows. And I remember one day I was working at McDonald's, and I was like, okay, I'm making $5 an hour. And after this McDonald's job ends, I'm going to drive over to Garden Grove, and I'm going to do a school show for a local school, and I'm going to get $600. And I remember thinking in my head, that $600 is more than I make all month at McDonald's. And so I was like, I'm going to do magic full time. And I took the risk. I said, it might not work. I got a guaranteed $5 an hour, but I think this will work. And I took the risk, even though people told me it's not going to work. Even though the manager at McDonald's called me names and said, you're going to be back here. You'll be back here because you're a loser, and it's never going to work, and you're never going to make money. I see it all the time. You may as well stay here the rest of your life. And I was like, okay, that's a little mean, but whatever. You know, maybe she's got something going on. Whatever. And so I was learning the magic stuff, and I took that leap of faith, and I also took the leap of faith of taking $170 from that $600 and investing in an ad in a magazine. And I was like, okay, I'm going to take this ad, I'm going to put it in the magazine, and I'm going to put Magic Balloons, Comedy and Fun, Magic by Marcus, and I'm going to put my phone number. Okay, I risked it. $170 back then was crazy. Okay, I was like, man, this is a big risk, because a lot of people don't know, but I actually moved out when I was about 15 or 16, and I had to find a way to fend for myself. Like, no one taught me to cook, no one taught me. I was just like out there. Now, Dad helped us a little bit, but not as much, right? And so I had to make stuff work. I had to do this. And I decided, you know what? Even though I got rent, even though I got bills to pay, I don't think McDonald's is the way. I think this magic will work. And so I ran that ad, and I was nervous. And I was like, okay, are we going to get any calls? And I remember I had my big clunky cell phone that barely fit in my pocket that I was afraid was going to like make me sick because they were new and no one knew what they did back then. And I had that cell phone. And I remember the minute that ad hit, we started getting calls the same day. And I was like, oh my God, this works. Are you kidding me? Like, I put an ad, and now people are calling me for $100 shows and school shows for $600, and on we go. And I was like, this is really cool. And I was able to get like 5 or 6 shows a month. And I was like, 170, turn it into like 1,000. I like it. That's pretty cool. And I got repeat business, and I was making more than McDonald's, but it was still relatively low. Like, I wasn't high on the hog. You know, I was still shopping at the budget grocery store. I was still having a hard time. Then I was learning more about this stuff, and I had a magic magazine, which I don't know if I have one in here. Okay, we might have one in here somewhere. But we had a magic magazine, and I remember I read an ad in the magic magazine, and this guy said, hey, you want to get more magic bookings? And I was like, yes, I do. And he said, do this, do this, do this. Give me a call. And so I called the number, and I'm like, dude, I don't got any money. I just spent my money on an ad. What can I do? And he's like, here's the deal. I'm going to tell you what to do with your ad, but after it works, buy my product. And I'm like, dude, deal. Like, of course. And so he said, hey, change your ad from Magic Balloons, Comedy and Fun, Magic by Marcus, call the number, to make your child's party unforgettable, comedy magic show, your child is the star. Call Marcus today. Boom. Instantly, 5 to 10 times the bookings. 5 to 10 times. Same $170 ad. Same magazine. Same everything. Now I'm able to live, and I don't have to go to the budget grocery store, but I still did because I liked saving money, and it was right around the street from our house. So we got to look at this. Now, I want to show you the skills that I learned as we went along the way, because these skills are things that you'll need to learn. The big skill I learned is the ability to sell in print and in person. The ability to be able to convey a message and sell in print and in person. Very important. If I told you, here's 100 index cards, I want you to write a note, and I want you to put these index cards on a bunch of cars in the Target parking lot. And you got to make as much money as you can. What are you going to sell? What are you going to say? What are you going to write? Right? Think about that. That is the skill. I don't care if you're good at WordPress. I don't care if you know MySQL. I don't care if you're a good video person. I don't care any of that. What I care is, do you know how to write words on paper that get people to respond? If you learn that, you'll never have to look for a job if you do it right. If you learn that, that is the skill that I said, because I got the magic ad. And I was like, I like doing magic, but I'm not going to get rich. So screw that. I want to learn the skill that made the ad, because that's the real magic. That's where the real money's at, is learning how to write that ad. Very important, right? Does that make sense to everyone? Everyone get that? Does everyone want to learn that skill? You're like, hell yeah, if I could learn that skill, that's going to work. Just recently, I sent out a bunch of packages. A bunch of people requested packages, over 1,000 people. And we sent them out, and we're averaging a good amount for the packages we sent out. It cost me about $2 to $3. Post office was a pain in the butt. And they're like, no, that has to go parcel. I'm like, okay. So we still pay like $3 each. And I'm averaging $25 to $60 for every one I send out. Think about that. Like, if you could mail $3 away and get 60 back, how many freaking times a day would you do that? Right? That's the skill. That's what people don't get, because for some reason, when it comes to the internet, people get all funny and they forget that it's a business. This is a business. You're still dealing with people. I might be on here live streaming and we got fancy tech stuff and cameras and whatever. But the fact of the matter is if I can't convey a message to you, I'm not going to make anything. Hands down. It doesn't matter. So we got to look at it. Now, in 2000, a year later, I graduated high school in 1998, for those who are wondering. It was a continuation school, and I basically graduated because I could color in the lines and because I was a preacher. Other than that, I shouldn't have graduated, but yay for the lady who liked the fact that I was a preacher. 2000, Marcus, here I was doing the magic, and met my girlfriend, and I was like, okay, I need to make a little bit more money because I want to move away from the place I had been renting with my brother for years, and I want to be on my own because I just didn't like living in the environment we were in. And so I moved out, and I took a leap of faith, and I was like, okay, it's more expensive, but I got to go out there and do this. And in 2000, I was like, okay, what if I did SEO? What if I charged people to get ranked on the search engines? That'd be pretty cool. And so I did. After making a website for a local cigar company, I charged $10,000 for the website, which back then it was like, might as well have made $1 million, right? And we got to look at that. And so I was like, hey, maybe I could sell this skill of SEO stuff. And so I used what I learned with the magic. So everything you're going to see here, I built and built and built upon. And I want to like hand this to you by the time this webinar is over and be like, here's the package of things that we need to teach you. Okay. So I went through and I was like, okay, well, maybe I could go and get other people. I got this cigar company ranked. What about magic stores and limousine companies? And my philosophy was to always find the keyword first and only get words I could rank for, because I wasn't really good at SEO. I'm still not. But I was good at finding keywords. And so instead of going out there and being like, hey guys, I'm Marcus, the SEO guy, I'll get you more business, I went out and I went to local limousine companies and I wrote letters on paper. And I was like, I can get more business to your limousine website. Call me. Boom, phone rang off the hook. I made money. We sometimes closed 2 out of 3 of those people. Imagine that, right? How many of you guys would do that if you're like, hell yeah, man, you do this thing, people call, you make sales. And we had this thing called the money table where we'd go and ring them up. And we were all happy when the money table worked because it was a loud old credit card processor. And you could hear it throughout the whole house. And people were like, dude's making money, man. That's cool. So it's really cool. But what I did is I broke it up. Instead of just being the SEO guy for all, I broke it down and said, I'm the limo guy, this guy, or whatever. Then I found a site called PayPal and PayPal Shops. Now, I had a PayPal account. I was able to take money via PayPal. And I figured, well, they got this shop section, which is really cool. And it's got all these shops organized by category for people who take PayPal. And I was like, wait a minute. So you're telling me I could just go into electronics, go into like e-cigarettes. I don't even know if those were around back then, or scooters. I did scooters. And we found people that sold gas-powered scooters with PayPal. And I emailed them, and I was like, you want to get more sales to your gas-powered scooters? Call me. Right? And it worked. And I sold a lot of them. Then I got a little bit more idea because I'm like, hey, I'm averaging like $100 an email I send out. I wonder if I could do better. I wonder if I could do this better. And I was like, yeah, I think I can. So instead, I was like, well, I'm making $100 a call. So if I could email them a PayPal dollar, they're not just going to get an email from a random guy. They're going to get an email from PayPal that says, you just made money. And then it'll say, hey, guys, it's Marcus. If you want more dollars, call me. Boom, tripled the response instantly. So I did that. I had the SEO going on. The skills that I learned here in 2000 were finding people where they are. Okay, you got to find people where they're at. You can't expect people to come to you wanting what you have to offer. You got to go find them. You got to go get them. And it's not hard to do because they're hanging out everywhere. Like literally everywhere. You want to find people in finance? Go hang out on Wall Street. You want to find people who are blue-collar workers? You go to factories. You want to find people who like magic? You go to magic stores and magic conventions and, Magic Magazine, right? It's not rocket science, but people really miff this up because they don't focus. The second thing I learned here that was important, if you're taking notes, which you should be, is personalizing the message to meet the people's needs. Okay, you got to personalize it. So many people get in marketing and they think about what they want. I want to make $100,000 online. And I'm like, what are you going to do? I don't know. I just want $100,000 online. And I'm like, yeah, that's real cute. But what are you going to do? Because no one out there is banging on your door saying, I've been trying to reach you for months. We want to just give you $100,000 a year. No one does that, right? Except Ed McMahon, and he only does it to one person in the entire universe, right? Something like that. But at any rate, good game show host or whatever he did. And we got to look at that. We got to say, hey, check this out. Check this out. We got to meet people where they are. We got to focus on them. When I write my letters, I focus on you. I don't focus on me. I don't say, well, I need to make money, so I'm going to. No, I say, this is why you need what we have, right? Very, very, very important. So, 2003, Marcus. Here I am. I moved to Oregon. I got my baby. I got another baby on the way. I'm doing my SEO site. Out of the blue, this guy calls. I didn't know who he was. You guys might have heard of him now. Frank Kern calls me up. He's like, dude, I heard for SEO, you're the guy. I said, I like to think so. He said, I'm going to order 3 of your most expensive package. I'm like, good. I like money. Sign up. And he signed up right there on the spot. And he's like, I want you to rank my site about teaching parrots to talk. I was like, cool. I could do that. That's an easy one, right? And so I took his site. I got him traffic. And he's like, dude, your traffic converts. Converts. And bam, he ranked within days, got tons of visitors, made lots of sales, and we got to talking about family and business. Our kids were about the same age at the time, and he's like, dude, if you could get all this traffic, why don't you go through and just rank all the stuff you want and send people to affiliate offers? I was like, hey, yeah, I think I could do that. And so I did. I set up 2 sites, one about cable TV and the other one about how to get your ex-girlfriend or boyfriend back. Thought that was an interesting niche. And I made those sites, and then I drove down from Oregon down to Southern California for a vacation at my dad's. It was around July 4th. It was around, this time. And I drove down there, and we didn't have fancy internet. We had a little antenna that was on the laptop, little tiny antenna. It was slow as hell, and it only worked like 9% of the time. And so I had to wait to check how the sites were doing. I just set them up. Took me about an hour and a half. Went on vacation. And I found out at the end of the vacation, we actually made about $1,200 on those sites. I didn't have to do anything. I didn't have to call anyone. I didn't have to rank any sites. Boom, they just made money. And this was an aha moment. This was the same kind of aha moment I had back in July 4th, 2000, because that's when I made my first $21 without doing anything. Now I made $1,200 without doing any extra work. And I was like, wait a minute. This shit's real. This can work. And I thought to myself, and I want you to write this down because this is the key. What if I could set something up today that will generate money over and over, even when I'm not working? What if I could set something up today that will generate money over and over, even when I'm not working? If I could figure out a way to make $5 a day every day, just from what I do today. Like, that's all I do. I'm going to spend all day. I'm going to figure out a way to make $5 a day all the time, every day. Okay? What if I could do that? Well, a lot of you guys are like, $5, Marcus, what are you going to get? You going to get a Happy Meal? I'm like, no, that's not good for you, right? What I'm going to do is I'm going to make myself $1,500, or actually more. I think it's closer to $1,800 a year, right? Because if I can make $5 a day every day, that's $1,800 a year. If I could do that 10 times, that's $18,000 a year. If I could do it 100 times, you get the picture. But the cool thing about this is it's not just $5. You could do this and make $100, $500. I've done this and made as much as $4,500 a day passively on a site that I set up in less than a day. Really cool. So after I had that aha moment, I went like a madman and I set up over 300 sites purely on free traffic from Google, generating up to $1,700 a day or more. And then when I got into pay-per-click a couple years later, we'll show you how that works as well. Now, the big skill that I learned here was seizing on the gap in the marketplace. All right, here's a deal. Lots of people think you have to have opportunity, right? You go to network marketers and they're like, this is the opportunity. You got to get in on the ground floor. Ain't nothing like this ever going to come along for the rest of your life. You got to sign up right now. And it's like, no, I don't. There's opportunity everywhere. Right now where you sit, there is so many opportunities, it's not even funny. This is part of the problem because there's too many opportunities. And you say, am I going to do Shopify? Am I going to do this? Am I going to do that? Am I going to do ClickFunnels? Am I going to do that? I'm going to go take a nap because I'm tired of thinking about what the hell to do. That's part of the problem. But the fact of the matter is opportunities everywhere. You just don't have the skills to meet the opportunity. That's why I'm going through these to show you, look, here's the opportunity I took. Here's the skills that made it work. Because if I didn't have the skills, it wouldn't work. If someone came to me right now and said, a spot opened up in the triathlon and the winner gets $10 million, I'd be like, okay, what's a triathlon? Well, you got to run like 10 miles. You got to swim 5 miles. You got to ride a bike, and you're basically going to die. And I'd be like, yeah, I think I'm going to pass on that opportunity because I don't have the skills. My body's not ready to do that. And I couldn't do that opportunity, but it might be there. Like, the opportunity is there for anyone to go do triathlons in the Olympics and get medals and make money. But we don't have the training. We don't have the skill set. So we can't do that opportunity. Now, these things, obviously, are a lot simpler than, like, learning to swim 100 miles an hour or whatever it is, right? So we got to seize the gap in the marketplace. There's gaps all over the marketplace. They're everywhere. And you're sitting there and you're worrying about the wrong shit. You're worrying about the wrong shit, and that's why you're not making money. Because you're worrying about tactics instead of skill sets. You're worrying about, I heard a guy say that there's an easy way to get a lot of people to like a post on Facebook. And I'm like, yeah, that's all fine and good, and you probably bought their product, but what the hell are you going to get them to like? What are you going to do? Again, that goes back to skill number 1 that I learned. How do you write something to the audience to get people to buy stuff? Because you could get likes, you could get comments, you could get followers, you could get clicks, you could get whatever, and none of it makes a damn bit of difference unless you know how to close the deal. Got to know how to close the deal. So the skill I learned was seizing the gap in the marketplace. I was able to see gaps in the marketplace and make them work at whatever cost. I was like, I'm going to make it work. We're going to do it. I learned how to automate content creation. I learned affiliate marketing and some basic web skills, which I still work today, right? Basic web skills like how to use Front Page 2003. That's my web skill. By the way, surprise, I still use Front Page 2003 today. It's just hard as hell to find because it's out of print, so you got to find it somewhere. But I've bought it a lot of times, and I got CDs somewhere around here. But that's what I still use. So those of you who are like, oh, no, you need the latest, greatest thing. It's like, no, my ugly sites work, and my ugly sites were built with a crazy-ass tool from 2003. And I just started using 2003 in 2008. Up until then, I used Front Page Express, which was free with Windows 95. So you don't need fancy tools. Use what you got where you're at right now. Learn the skill, being able to communicate. 2005 rolls around. I get into pay-per-click marketing. I'm like, hey, this works. Had a little bit of a hiccup with some search engine stuff, and let's try pay-per-click. And boom, because of what I learned, simplicity of message, seizing an opportunity. I was like, hey, here's an opportunity. Let's make it work. And I seized on it. A lot of people said it's not going to work. Marcus, you can't make money with the word MySpace. Marcus, you can't make money with happy faces. And I'm going to tell you something. Everyone is going to tell you reasons things won't work. Your own brain is going to tell you things and reasons things won't work. But all you need is one reason. And the reason I said is this guy is going to pay me for this. So I know it'll work. As long as he pays me, right? And they do. They're affiliate networks. I've only been stiffed by one network in my entire career. One network and one private affiliate offer. And I think it was a total of $12,000 or something like that. So nothing huge. All right. So, and compare that with $10 million. It's not a big thing. But you could look at that. You could see that this little site, $317,900, 174, 165, and on we go. This is one account from 1 year. I don't even think it's the entire year. So lots of money there. Really cool. What did I learn? I learned how to test traffic. I learned pay-per-click. I learned rapid-fire conversion and how to put a simple web page together for maximum profits. Very cool. Okay, so that's what I learned. I was like, there they are. Right? How many of you guys are digging this on a scale of 1 to 100? Type a 1 in the box if you hate it. Type 100 if you're like, yeah, dude, I'm digging this. All right. Now, 2008 rolls around. Everyone tells me, Marcus, you got to get into blogging. And I didn't like blogging because I liked Front Page 2003, damn it. And they're like, you got to learn blogging, you got to learn blogging. I'm like, okay, I guess I'll learn blogging. And it was a pain in the ass. And then I finally learned it. But I still like Front Page 2003. And so I set up some blogs and I started teaching affiliate marketing. So notice that. A lot of you guys are like, are you one of them gurus who just teaches stuff and, you know, you never really did it? Actually, I didn't start teaching till 10 years after I had already been doing it. Like 10 years later, people begged me to teach. The only reason I started teaching is my friend Harris calls me up one day. He's like, Marcus, I got to tell a seminar. There's hundreds of people waiting to hear from a marketing expert, and my marketing expert just bailed. Can you hop on and tell people what you're doing? I'm like, sure, bud. Let's do it. I hop on the phone. I had just gotten out of the pool. We were at like $4,000 for the day. I sit in my office soaking wet, and I'm like, okay, let's do this call. And I'm sitting there, and I'm cold because we have an air conditioner, and I just got out of the pool, and it's cold. And I'm doing the teleseminar, and I'm like, okay, and I teach everything. And at the end of the teleseminar, everyone's like, that was awesome. Where do we buy? And I'm like, Harris, psst, dude, we supposed to sell something? He's like, yeah, you always sell on a teleseminar. I'm like, oh, shit, I didn't know that. I made a PayPal link, and I'm like, you guys can have a DVD that I'm going to teach you this and a book. And so I committed. I'm like, I'm going to write a book this weekend, and I'm going to record a DVD this weekend. And I did it. Went in my garage, set it up like a little studio, had a tie that was about 10 feet tall, and I looked like an idiot. It's still around there on YouTube today. But there I was. I did it, and it worked well. And what I learned is I learned how to listen to my market. This was a skill that is so important. If you ignore it, you're not going to make money. You've got to listen to your market. And your market wants to tell you things. Why do you think I ask you questions on the webinar? You guys direct the course of where I go. You guys are in charge. Why? Because you guys are the guys that consume this stuff. If I lean on my own expertise of what I think you want, it's just going to be a guess. If you tell me what you want, it's guaranteed. Right? If I go somewhere and I'm like, what do you guys want to buy? Well, I want this coffee cup. Good. Everywhere else, it's $10. I'll give it to you for $5. Okay. We'll take it because we want it and it's cheap. Pretty cool. And there's the coffee cup. I don't think I put it in view. Right? So I learned how to listen to my market. I learned direct selling. And of course, I learned how to teach. Luckily, over the last 10 years, I like to think I've gotten a lot better at teaching, which is pretty cool. Now, 2011 rolls around. I start outsourcing software and tools. I was like, hey, this is pretty cool. I wonder if I could have tools made. And I thought, wow, these tools are going to cost $10 million to make. And I found out they only cost like $500 to make a little plugin or a tool or whatever. And I was happy. And I started making money almost instantly in 2011 from the tools. Big skill I learned there was creating super simple tools. And it was way easier than I thought. And it was way more profitable than I thought, which was awesome. 2014. This was a tough year for me. Walking on the beach. Doesn't look tough, but it was tough. In 2014, I suffered a mental breakdown, a nervous breakdown kind of thing, alcoholism, depression, and a suicide attempt. And I learned a lot of lessons. So this year, I'm going to share you what I learned in my life rather than what I learned in business, because I think it goes hand in hand, right? And what happened was I just got really depressed. I spiraled out, and it consumed me. And pretty much if you drink that much alcohol, if anyone does, that's pretty much what's going to happen to you. And some things I learned is money isn't everything. I learned that in a very hard way. And I learned that money isn't the be-all, end-all. And I learned that money isn't going to make you happy. And I learned not to hinge my self-worth on my net worth, because they're not the same. A person is not worth a dollar amount. A person is worth whatever whoever created us says we're worth, right? And that's how I look at it. Now I look at it like, hey, I don't deserve any more than whoever has the least, right? So take the person with the least among us. That's what I deserve, right? Anything else is just good or whatever, blessed, whatever you want to call it, right? I learned money isn't everything. I learned also that I'm not always right about everything. Right? I'm not always right. Not always. I learned that philosophy of life is important. If you don't have a philosophy of life, life's going to create a philosophy for you. And what it usually looks like is, why is life so hard to me? Why is life so difficult? Right? And I struggled and struggled and struggled with that until I decided to purposely make a philosophy of life. And I really learned throughout this that I really, really like helping people. Before, I had a hard time because I was like looking at my teaching business as all profit. And I was like, okay, we got to get it as profitable as possible. And then when I got sober, I was like, you know, we're kind of making enough to get by. We're making like more than enough to get by. And I think I like teaching people. And as I learned and I growed and I really, really invested in my students, right, I actually learned that it's actually pretty profitable and people are helped, which is really cool. So those are the things I learned. Luckily today, last month, I hit 5 years sober, which is an accomplishment above the money that I'm pretty happy about. And I couldn't have done it on my own. It had to be the switch in life, which is really important. And you got to learn that, because every time I see people that put profits above their lifestyle, they struggle. You have to put your lifestyle above. What lifestyle do you want? What do you want it to look like? Go make that. And then you'll get that, and then you'll get wrapped up in, oh, I need 10 million, 5 million, 500 million. And it's like, no, you don't. If you get the life you want and you live the way you want, do it. Go do that, right? If your dream is to get a sailboat and live on the sailboat, and it costs 60 grand a year, figure out a way to make 60 grand a year, right? You'll get lured in, oh, maybe you'll get a bigger sailboat. But figure out a way to get what you want. And it's not bad to have bigger goals, but don't let them consume you. Now, in 2014 to 2019, in addition to learning how to be and stay sober, by the way, if anyone struggles with alcoholism, I have another channel here on YouTube that's called Talk Sober, where we go through every Thursday and we have a live call about how to stay sober. We have tons of people staying sober. Sometimes I read the comments and I'm like in tears. Not because they're mean. We do get some mean ones, but because people's lives are being changed by just sharing what I learned, sharing what struggles I went through. Now, in 2014 to 2019, I learned more about video marketing. And I was like, I remember it clearly. I was on a webinar. This is a recorded webinar. I got this screenshot from that webinar back in 2011, 2012, February of 2012. In February of 2012, I started my YouTube channel, and I bring it up on the Bootcamp Sales Webinar. I was going to sell people on Simple Sites Bootcamp, my training course that everyone should be in. That's great. And I'm like, hey, I think I want to show you guys how to get traffic with YouTube. And some people didn't listen. Some people signed up for Bootcamp, and they're like, yeah, I'm going to do it, right? And I listened. I was like, holy cow, dude, I could get traffic right away. And I did a test, and I actually did a test that same year, and I made $3,000 off of a video that only had 140 views. And I was like, holy crap. I like that. And so I went on. Now imagine, I want you guys to think back. What if you listened to me back then? What would your life be like if in 2012 You were like, I think this Marcus guy knows what he's talking about, right? I think he knows what I'm talking about, or I think he knows what he's talking about, and I'm going to join his boot camp. Imagine what it did for me. I got 66,000 subscribers, which isn't huge, but it actually is extremely profitable, and I got over 3 million views. How many of you guys think that would make a difference in your life? And you're like, dude, that's incredible. That's incredible. Like, seriously, what if you listened to me back then? What would your life be like if you were like, you know what, I'm not just going to be a passive bystander listening to webinars and talks and feeling good. I'm going to join, I'm going to dig my heels in, and I'm going to make it work. What would your life be like today if you actually did that? Now, I'm really proud of this one because a lot of people are like, yeah, well, Marcus, you know, he works in the affiliate marketing. I actually also did it in the Sober channel. I started this one in 2016, at the end of 2016. We got 10,761 subscribers, actually more now. And I got over, we're close, I think we're over 1 million views, close to it, somewhere around there, right? In a market where people are paying $70 a click. Now, like I said, I put people over profits, and this site is not profitable right now. It's a little bit profitable. We make like a little bit. It's not as profitable because the way I could make money on it, I don't really agree with. So I'm like, I'm going to do my own thing because I want to help these people more than pad my bottom line. And it's very important to do that. It's very important to say, I want to run my business ethically. I want to run it responsibly. I want to take care of people as much as I can. Now, sure, some people will fall through the cracks from time to time. It happens. When you got a lot of people, you got a business, it's going to happen. But we try to take care of as many people as possible. Now, the skills I learned here, build what you want to build today, what you want to make money with tomorrow. Write that down. And I also learned to repurpose everything. And now, I'm sitting here in 2019. Here's a screenshot from one of our accounts. You can see how our days go. And I want you to imagine waking up every day and seeing these numbers hit your bank account. Like, boom, 15,500 from the day before, 13,000 from the day before, 8,000, 8,000, 8, 7, 6. I mean, on and on we go. And you look at that, that's daily income. Even after refunds, it's still 2,700, right? So you look at that. And I want you to imagine how that would impact your life. Again, we're not saying guaranteed you're going to make this. I don't know. I don't even know if you'll make $1 a day. But I think, having done this 20 years, I think I can help you understand what it takes. I think I can help you, like how I helped Jermaine and how I helped Bill and how I helped, what was that other guy's name? It was up there. It's a long day. I had to get up at 3 a.m. and take my wife to the airport. Her grandpa's very sick, so we're hoping it's not bad, but kind of looks that way. So thoughts and prayers would be good, or whatever you do. All right, so needless to say, I'm extremely tired. Here's another one. This is a little site that I set up in 2015, in April of 2015. In April of 2015, I was like, I'm going to set up this little site. I'm going to try to make some money. And we made $245 the first month. And I was like, yay, cool. And then since then, we've made $145,865 off of that one site, which is crazy. I was like, dude, that's awesome. Right? Take a look at it this year. This is a passive site. It's a passive affiliate offer. This month, or this year alone, 25 grand. And I'm not even doing it that hard. I know other people who are doing this that do like $100,000 a month with it. And thanks for the thoughts and prayers, by the way. She should be there in a couple hours. Long flight from Florida to San Francisco. So, but at any rate, $25,000 off of this one just this year so far. Imagine that, right? That's like $50,000 a year off of something passive. That's like what I call my junk drawer. In my junk drawer, I have like some money, and these are like my junk drawers. I keep it in PayPal, and I spend money on like ads and things like that. Imagine if you had 50 grand a year in your junk drawer. Right? You'd be like, holy crap, that's cool. All right. So that one averages $143 a day, like passively. How many of you guys go to work every day and you make $143 or less, right? That's 60 grand. How many of you guys like make less than 60 grand? And imagine one little site in your little junk drawer making as much as you make 8 hours a day at a job, and you don't even look at that. Like yesterday, I went to the beach all day. I wasn't working. I still made money. It was not that great of a day, but it was still over $1,000, which is like, hey, that's pretty cool, which is good. So the question is what can we learn here? What can we learn? The fact of the matter, and I'll say it again, is that opportunity is literally everywhere all the time. It's like being on a golf course, and there's a bunch of holes that you got to shoot for. And you're like, which one am I going to do? Now, if you don't have the skills to hit that pocket or whatever they call it, right? We got to look at that and say, boom, I can't do it. It doesn't matter that there's holes all over the golf course because you can't get the ball in the hole anyway. That's also the problem. The problem that there's holes all over the golf course is the big problem because we have a hard time deciding when we don't have skills. If I have skills, I'll be like, yeah, I could get this one. Or I know I can get this one, so I'll start here. Right? You wouldn't be able to do that. So we got to look at that and we got to focus. Okay? We got to be able to do that. So we need to get the skills. Now notice in every story above, it was about my skill set that led to the ability to seize the opportunity and create a life of economic freedom and growth. Wouldn't you agree that if you had the right skills, you would be able to find and tackle the best opportunity that suits your needs and creates your life of freedom? Right? Don't you think that's what's stopping you? Like if you had the skills, forget what all the gurus say, forget about Shopify and all this other stuff. If you had a skill that made money, like if you had the one skill I had where you could write a note and get a response, write an ad, get a response, right? That's the skill. If you have that skill, opportunities everywhere. If you don't have that skill, you're forever chained to whatever opportunity whoever wants your money says you have to do. Plain and simple. That's the fact. You look at it with network marketers, and I don't do network marketing, but I helped a lot of people with it. In network marketing, right? It's the person, not the business. You see the person, he's like, I've been in 12 companies, I'm successful with all of them. You see another guy who's like, I've been in 12 companies and I haven't made a dime. What's the difference? The guy with the money has the skill set. The guy without does not. Very important. Now, it is your turn to learn the skills that will allow you to be in control of your destiny. I'm going to say that again. See how tired I am? Now it's your turn to learn the skills that will allow you to be in control of your destiny, give you peace of mind, and help you create a life of economic freedom. Imagine you wake up 90 days from today, looking back on today as the day you decided to choose to change your life by learning the skills that have helped so many people create a life of excitement, stability, and meaningful, measurable, trackable success. Imagine how good that will feel. Looking back saying, that day I heard Marcus, I wasn't just a passive listener. I decided to learn. I decided to join. I decided, like he did back in 2000, nothing is going to stop me. Nothing is going to stop me, right? And Alvanet says, how much is your skill set? That's why we're poor. You're poor not because you can't afford anything, because I was poor back then, but I had a rich skill set. And you're not poor because other people are selling stuff, right? You don't have money because you don't have the skill set. Learn the skill set. Whether it's with me or someone else, I don't care. I want you to be successful even if you don't join whatever I have today, right? Even like, go be successful. Go do what you want to do because that's all about what you want. And you got to focus. But I want you to imagine how that'll feel. Like you're like, dude, if I had the skill set, that would work. If I learned that, that would work. Like we did a skill set webinar last week where I showed people how to make banners that get results. They get results. It's like, here you go do it. And a lot of people are already doing it. And that's a simple skill. Took 2 hours to share. And boom, we went through and it worked. Really, really, really cool. Okay, next. I want to talk to you about how to learn these skills. What I want to do is I want to do something I've never done. And I want to teach you a boot camp based on skills rather than little tactics, right? Skills rather than tactics. Very important. And in Simple Sites Bootcamp, I want to take you with me. Like, how many of you guys, you're already sold on the fact that you need these skills. You're like, that's what's stopping me. The only difference between me and Marcus is Marcus is funny looking and he has skills. That's the only difference. Other than that, I need the skills, right? How many of you guys are like, that's the only difference? Type skills in the box if you're like, I need these skills. And I want everyone, I want to see hundreds of skills come up in that box. Okay? You need the skills? I think you do. All right, so there we go. Skills, there they come. All right, so what I want to do is I want to teach you these skills over the next 16 weeks. That's 4 full months. So we got July, August, September, October. It's going to take us to October, right? All the way up to November because we usually do bonuses and stuff like that. I want to take the next 4 months and I want to teach you these skills in a very real way. Like no BS, no fluff, no filler. Get on the call, learn the skill, ask questions, go use the skill and make some money, right? How many of you guys are like, that's what I need? I don't need another course on WordPress. Like, learning that will be cool, but, you know, I don't need that, okay? I do need to learn a little tech, and that's cool, but I need to learn the stuff that makes money. And that's why we're going to take these 16 weeks. I'm going to take you by the hand. I'm going to hold your hand every step of the way, show you the paint-by-numbers simple system to getting something up and running and getting results, and give you the skills to make it work. You're going to go through week number 1 and learn how to find markets. You're going to go in, you're going to find your market, you're going to learn how to make money, you're going to go do it. Number 2, we're going to select your medium. You're going to find out where people are. I'm going to show you how to get in there and get out with a bunch of people. I'm going to show you how to structure your message in a way that works insanely well. Okay, if I can do one thing good, it's creating a message. It's like the other stuff, I'm not that good at web design, not that good at software, right? I am good at structuring a message. And it doesn't matter if you know how to structure a message. 4, we're going to teach you how to create your resource, how to create resources that will pay you over and over. Did you know that right now you could create a resource like a Excel spreadsheet or a PDF or a WordPress theme? I literally create WordPress themes and they take me 10 minutes to make, or if I outsource them, it costs me $75. And I use that as a lead magnet that builds my business. And it goes like crazy. I mean, literally, no one does this because these are skills people don't want to learn. They're all focused on the fastest way to make money. And here I am making money the fastest. So you go focus on it. And while you focus, I'm going to do, because it's about skills and implementation. Week number 5, getting your offers, how to find the right offers, affiliate offers, resell, create your own, whatever. Week 6, how to test your links, your ads, your emails, find out what your market wants. Week 7, we're going to teach you how to get involved with your market. Week 8, how to tweak it for big profits. 9, 3 killer going fishing methods to create money on demand. Week 10, learn how Marcus creates me. I'm Marcus, right? How I create my videos and structures them to get traffic. Hint, you don't need to be in the videos. Your voice doesn't have to be in the videos. Nothing. You could set these up with like text, music, whatever. Okay? Next, you're going to learn how I run a profitable product launch for your products and affiliates. Last year, I did a affiliate product launch, made about 20 grand in about 19 days. Right? Think about that. What if in 19 days you'd be like, I can get a check for 20 grand. That'd be pretty cool. Now, I did have to have a list, and I have been doing this a while. But I think if I could do those numbers, you ought to be able to do something, right? Really important. And then week 12, we're going to talk about the evolution of a simple site in detail. Simple Sites Bootcamp, you're going to watch live as I build 3 profitable sites with you. No fluff, no guess. We're going to build the sites and show you how they work. Like, here you go. I built it. Here's how it worked. Go duplicate it. You're going to get the skills that pay the bills. And if you don't get these skills, you're going to forever struggle. I guarantee it. I've helped people for over 10 years. I've seen people at conferences in tears. And I'm like, focus on this. And there was one girl who was in tears one time at a conference. She's crying about her stuff. I can't do this. I can't make it work. I really want to. Right? And I sat down with her and I said, focus on this. And she did it. She's been full-time for like 6 years or something like that. Really cool. and you got to look at it, and you got to focus on the right things. A special bonus. So you're going to get 16 weeks of coaching. You're also going to get a niche market idea, right? I have 25 niche market ideas. We're going to split them up between the people who join the boot camp. In addition to the idea, I'm going to give you a domain name. The domain names I get are valued on GoDaddy for like anywhere from $500 to $2,000. So at the end of the day, you get something of actual value that if you give up and quit, you could go sell it and get money. Like, yeah, this sounds too good to be true. Should I close the offer? Probably. We're also going to give you a copy of the new Simple Sites Big Profit software. And the deal is that it's go time here. No more messing around. Let's profit together online. I want to see you have that aha moment. I want to see you go do it and make it work. And you could do that at simplesitesbootcamp.com. We are closing the doors extremely soon because we're actually starting on Monday. So Monday, we're going to be starting. Now, the domains, you can see this is an example of some of the domains. You guys have seen they're worth lots of money if you look at it. Now, I don't know what they're worth on the open market, but the biggest domain seller in the world says they're worth a lot. And I've taken some of that. I had one that the domain appraiser appraised at $1,500. I sold it for 25 grand, right? So you do the math. I don't know what they'll be worth. It could be worth nothing. It could be worth a lot. Now, if you do sell your domain for a ton of money, please tell me about it so I can brag about you to my other students. I think that's a cool success thing, right? So you got to look at that. Now, if you look at this, if you were to compare this with the average franchise fee, right? So for the past 20 years, almost 19 years, I've been making a lot of money on the internet, and I make more than most franchise owners. I think the average franchise will make you anywhere from like 5 to 10 grand if it's like a Subway or something, to maybe 30 grand a month if it's like a McDonald's. Now, to start those is anywhere from 80,000 up to like 2 million, right? So that's what you're comparing this with. Like, you could go buy a franchise for $80,000 if you got it sitting around, and you could make 5 grand a month. Or you could buy one for 2 million and you can make 30 grand a month. Or you could learn the skills that pay the bills. Very important, because you could go and get a franchise and you're going to slave away, because if you work in your sandwich shop, that's the only way to make money. If you don't work in it, you'll make like 20 grand or 30 grand or whatever. I talk to these people all the time. If you learn the skills, you can be your own boss. You can call the shots. You can do what you want when you want, and you'll have the skills to be able to make money on demand. Sometimes I turn to my wife and I'm like, hey, I want to do this. I want to get in, and I want to make an extra 25 grand. And I put together a little promo. A week later, I'm like, there it is. Let's go have a vacation or do something or whatever. Okay, here's the deal. You got to not make it a maybe. Maybe doesn't work. Maybe does not work. Must works. When I started, I didn't say maybe. I didn't say, well, I like this, but I also like eBay. Pick one or the other. Either do eBay or do this, right? Do what you're going to do, or Amazon or whatever it is, and focus on what you have to do. Okay? Very important. Now, here's how to go from 30. This isn't pre-recorded, Nanny. I don't know what you're talking about, buddy. But at any rate, he thinks it's pre-recorded. So, hi, Nanny. It's not pre-recorded. How to go from $0 to $30 a day super fast. Number one, find your need niche. And this is what we're going to teach you. So in week 1, Monday, next week, if you can't make the live, you get the replay. We give you the replay. We give you some notes and stuff like that. You get it, okay? Monday, we're going to hop on. And I'm be like, here's everything. Here's what you need. This is the skill. And we're going to teach you the most important skill, which is writing the words that get the sales. Most important, okay? Find your need niche. Number 2, find a higher paying offer, $30 to $100. Set up a direct site. We're going to teach you this. 4, get some traffic. 5, watch what your visitors click on. Get them to opt in. Be interactive. Boom, you go do it. And like KMP says, Marcus's teaching is more realistic than college courses. And I don't have to wear a tie. And I live in my backyard office. So that's what we're going to teach you. Like week 1, you're going to learn how to make money in week 1. We're changing it up. It used to be week 5, you get to it. No, I'm cutting it out because I know some people need to learn the immediate stuff immediately. And so week 1, we're like, boom, here it is. In a package, go use it. Then we're going to build on it. Okay, so how many of you guys are like, dude, yeah, that's awesome. Now, here's the breakdown. Sales and marketing in-depth training. That's the first portion. That's a bonus of this one. That's valued at $9.97. When I sell that on its own, it's $9.97. However, I've never taught it the way that I teach now. Okay, this is new. I have never taught it this way ever. Okay, so we got to look at that and we got to focus on that. Okay, you're going to learn that $9.97 value. 16 weeks. I got to check my phone because my wife's out of town and my daughter's driving. So I got to make sure everything's okay. Next is 16 weeks of live interactive coaching. We help you. We look at your sites. We answer your questions. We go through. It's a small group. We're all helping each other out. We want you to make money. That's a $1,552 value if I put them at $97 each, which is dirt cheap, right? So they're probably worth more than that, but I don't want to give you some pie in the sky like those other people who are like, this is worth $1 billion and it's $1 today. You're smarter than that. I get it. You know, I treat you like real people, and I think you are real people. And I think you're smarter than a lot of you guys give yourself credit for. I really do. Like, here's my personal life philosophy. Everyone has the equal smarts. It's just what you use it. Like my brother, my wife's always like, oh, your brother's not that smart. And I'm like, he actually is. He knows everything about drum sets. Everything. I don't know about drum sets. He knows about, it's just what you choose. You could be as smart as you want. It's just what you choose to learn. And right now, if you're not making money, you've been choosing to learn the wrong things. Today, choose to learn the right things. Choose to learn the right things. How many of you guys are going to choose to learn the right things in my 16 weeks plus bonus weeks? We're also going to give you a top level domain valued at 500 to 1,000. Some are valued at like 2,000, but I just put the range in there. We try to get them like 800 to 1,200 or something like that. And again, that's just the value of an automated domain thing. I don't know if you can go sell it for that right now. Some sell for more, some sell for less. Next, we're going to give you a custom niche market help, $9.97 value. That's what I charge for niche market help. Okay. Next, daily skills training. This is brand new. Okay. Brand new. I have not taught this in 8 years. And 8 years ago, I was still drinking, and I taught it terribly back then. Now I'm teaching it good. Okay? That's going to be a good one. We're going to teach you 31 skills that you can do every day in 15 to 45 minutes. That'll work if you use them. You got to go use them, right? Next, you get to come here in Orlando after everything's done, and we get to hang out for 2 days and do a workshop. It's not a pitch fest. It's not a sales conference. It's a workshop. You bring your laptop. We rent out a big penthouse in a hotel, and we hang out on couches and talk marketing for 2 days. And if you can't make it, we record it. Pretty cool. The total cost of all this stuff, if you do it separately, is $10,383. You can go to my site. You can look at the cost of the things. That's what it is. But what we're going to do in this boot camp is we're going to give you a special price, which is $19.97. But on this call, and for the next couple of hours, I'm going to change it in 2 hours. I kept it open for too long because I've been gone, but we're going to close it in 2 hours. You're going to get it for $12.77. That means for less than $100 a week, you're going to learn the skills. So like you could go out to eat once a week at Red Lobster. I think Red Lobster is probably more than $100, and it's not even that good. I can make better lobster on my grill, right? So for the cost of eating out once a week, you can learn skills that are the same skills that are responsible for making me $10 million on the internet, making it to where I don't have to work, making it to where I am home every day when my kids get home from school, making it to where I can go to the grocery store in the middle of the day when no one's there, making it to where during the summer, I can go to the beach on the days people aren't there because I don't have to work on Tuesday. I don't have to work on Friday, right? I don't have to work these days. I work when I want. I do what I want. I call the shots. I hang out when I want. Really, really cool. A life where we find out Grandpa's sick and we don't have to worry about plane tickets. We get it there on the spot, even though it's last minute and it costs a fortune, right? We're able to do that. And that's what this is about, is making the life for you and your family so you can do what you want. And that's what these skills are about. This is the program that my most successful students have joined. Every time I've done the boot camp, people get results. But you got to put in a little work and ask for help when needed. Just like Paul says, I thought this marketing shit was a scam till I stumbled across your videos on YouTube. Got to be real. Exactly. This is real. This is how it works. I don't keep anything back. We show you exactly what you need to do. If you guys bought a different course, get us on live chat. You might be eligible for an upgrade. Okay, so check us out on live chat. Just depends. Okay, so simplesitesbootcamp.com. Very, very important. You got to go through there. What we're going to do is we're going to hold your hand every step of the way. We're going to show you all the ins and outs. We're going to teach you these skills and show you how there's a huge upside with very little potential downside. How it's incredibly easy to get started with this in-depth training program that's a long-term relationship. Right? I'm not going anywhere. Haven't gone anywhere for 20 years. If you want to learn from someone who's been doing this a long time, go to simplesitesbootcamp.com right like this. We are almost out of spots. I think we were taking 50 this time, and we're right about there. So you got to get in like now. All right, so here's what it is. It's going to recap what's going on. You just go here. You put your first name, your last name, put a good email. This is where we're going to contact you. Billing address, city, state, zip. You can see it's a totally secure site. Choose your credit card, whichever one you want. Put your number, all the info here. Choose whether you want a pay plan or in full. If you pay in full, you save quite a bit. Gives you a little incentive. Or you could do the pay plan. Either way doesn't matter to me. Once you're in, you're in. Everyone's all the same. You just have to do it. All right. And then you just get in there, and you can see all the bonuses you get. And you sign up, and we shake hands, and we make it work. And I want you, after you sign up today, to go ahead and come on live chat and say hello. I actually have live chat on now. You can go to any of our sites like this, and you can click live chat, and you can actually talk directly to me. That's right. You just do it, and you make it happen. Right? Really, really, really cool. Okay? Awesome stuff. Okay. Let's see here. What do we got going on? All right. Yeah, so go there, sign up. We'll take some questions as we go through. But, guys, this is about the skills. It's not about tactics. It's not about fluff. Look at the value you're getting and decide, okay, well, you know, I can make this happen. In this world, this is a drop in the bucket compared to what you can do. And if you look at it, it's like, dude, can I turn this into something that's going to work? And if you had told me back then, Marcus, we're going to offer you all these skills for $1,200, I would have jumped on it. I would have found a way to make it happen. I never let being broke be an excuse. I remember years ago, I went through and I was like, dude, I want to buy this course. And I bought this course, and it was $2,000. And it was at a time that we were kind of in a transition, and it was like $2,000 was like, okay, this is going to be a stretch, but, you know, I'm going to do it anyway. And I took the leap of faith, and I did it, and I actually did it, right? And I went through, and I was like, hey, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to make it work. And I did. And before the package actually arrived, he gave us some free videos to use while we waited for the physical package. Before the package arrived, I made $50,000 off of what I learned. Was that a good investment? Right? Is $1,277 a good investment compared to what you could do? Because you could go and you could watch videos and you could feel good about internet marketing, or you could actually do something, learn the skills, and be good. And you don't have to learn the skills from me. You can go and you could watch video after video, and it might take you a long time, but you could do that. But in the long run, what are you saving? Right? A lot of people are like, Marcus, I could save $1,277 and learn it on my own. And I'm like, yeah, if you want to spend like 3 years learning it or 10 years learning it, even if you only spend 1 year learning it, what'd you save? $3 a day? Woohoo, go you. You know, you got to look at it and say, I'm all in. I want to make it work. I'm tired of messing around. I'm going to find a way to make it happen, and we're going to go do it, which is really cool. Carlos says, hey, Marcus, you say we can actually talk with someone live. Yes, you can. In the boot camp, you talk to us live every week, and we have live chat, and you can get the help you need, which is really cool. We have Tina and Jackie, who are our support helpers, and they're there to help you, and they will help you with whatever it is you need. They're like usual business hours. Okay, simplesitesbootcamp.com. You got to get in there. A lot of people are saying, you know, my biggest holdback is that I don't have money, right? If you want to do this, make the sacrifice to make it happen. And yes, Troy did message me live. I will be a little late responding live, but I will try to as much as I can. All right? So yeah, learn the skills that make it work. Okay, if you are on live chat, just sit tight. I will answer you shortly. For those of you that are joining, go to simplesitesbootcamp.com, fill this form out. Let me know you're in. I'm going to try to, one of my goals in this boot camp is to try to make a phone call to everyone who joins at some point. I think that'll be fun to get to know you, get to understand your struggles, your needs, because everyone's different. And I want this to work for you. I want success probably more than you do right now for you, right? And that's a good thing to have in a mentor, someone who's like, dude, I want you to do really, really, really well. Like Jessica says, if you're serious about it, you know, put yourself first, do it, make it happen. Okay. Let's see. Any other questions? We'll take some Q&A here and get your guys' questions while you get signed up. And I want to make sure that we do get you signed up on this call or within the next 20 minutes. We got to get a head count so we know who's going to be there Monday and get you guys all sorted out. Okay, the next boot camp is probably going to be in the winter, and it is going to be the $19.97 price. So this is definitely going to save you a lot of money. At the end of this webinar, I am changing this price to $19.97. So if you want to save $700, do it right now, and get in there and let us know what you need so we can help you, and we'll get you taken care of. The link is simplesitesbootcamp.com. I will put that in the chat box so you guys can see it. simplesitesbootcamp.com. And get yourself signed up. Let's see if there's any other questions. Okay. Cool. All right. Yeah, Tina answered you. So Tina answered you in like 5 minutes. So we have good support, right? We do not have 24/7 support, but we do have good support. I think it's better to have good support from people who I know, who I've taught the business to, rather than just like, oh, let's have 24/7 support from like a bunch of people who don't even know what the internet is, right? I think that's important. Okay. Jason, do I do a raffle to help one person on a live chat? I actually help people all the time. They just have to find me sometimes, and you know, depends on what I'm doing at the time and how nice they are and stuff like that. But we actually do help a lot of people all the time. And by the way, Jason, if you don't think I've helped you, there's like 600 videos on YouTube. Like, go do it. Like, that's why I do that. I want you to watch my videos and say, wow, this works. And there's people who get results on the videos, right? This is for people who are like, I like the guy in the videos and I want him to hold my hand and teach me, right? Which is pretty cool. So a lot of people are like, Marcus, you should teach for free. It's like, well, it's a business. I'd be the biggest hypocrite in the world if I ran this not like a business, right? Got to use it, right? So there you go. Okay, so let's take some questions here. And get you guys rocking and rolling. Okay. Edda's in. Good to have you in there, Edda. Cool deal. Any other questions from you guys, let me know. And let's see how we are on our people count. Cool. All right. Cool deal. Let's see. Is there a difference between this and Simple Sites Bonus? Yes, this is like Simple Sites Bonus crazy town, right? This is like Simple Sites Bonus, but with me helping you through it personally. So this is unparalleled. If you can afford this, I would definitely do it. If not, Simple Sites Bonus is good. This is just me taking you through it. Okay. Yeah, like Jason says, people who buy lots of deals and stuff, they might need one-on-one coaching. That's what this is. Like, this is not something where you're going to be left in the dark. This is something where like we are literally going to help you every step of the way, hold your hand, show you the ins and outs, everything like that. Art by Kamek says his website's proof of my good advice. That is awesome. Glad that your website's working. And guys, we get success stories all the time. A lot of people choose to remain private for obvious reasons, but we get them all the time. Not just people staying sober, but we get people like everywhere, which is cool. We get people making money. And I've helped a lot of people do this full time. Lots of people. People in the industry, you wouldn't even know. You'd be like, oh, that guy got started with Marcus? Which is really, really cool. Okay. All right, guys. So, any last minute questions? Will the training be convenient for low skilled people? Yes, I want you to be low skilled. I want you to not know much, and I want you to struggle I want you to be the kind of person that's struggling right now, because I don't have to reteach you stuff. The worst kind of guy is like, I'm going to buy your course and I'm an expert, because he thinks he knows everything, and you can't teach an expert. It's like the old Zen cone. You know, if you don't empty out your cup, you can't fill the cup. And if you're new and you have struggle with it, right, we're going to help you with it. All right. So, any other questions? Will this video be available for viewing later? Yes, it will. Troy, good. I'm a tech idiot. Yeah, it's fine. I'm a tech idiot too. My programmer has to fix everything I mess up when I try to get fancy, so I try not to get fancy. What kind of budget do you need outside the course? I would say have an extra, maybe $200. You'd be safe. That's if you don't have web hosting. If you already have web hosting, then you could probably get by with another $100 or so. Okay. Carrie, payment-wise, if I'm already in Simple Sites, do I pay the difference or full price? Carrie, get me on live chat here. It depends on when you got Simple Sites. Okay? Nalim says, what can you do with Marcus Mentor Me program? Can you make money or not? Of course. All my programs you can make money with. It just depends on what you need. Do you want a mentor looking over your shoulder, helping you every step of the way? Or not? You know, that's the difference. It's kind of like a do-it-yourself or Marcus help me kind of deal. All right, so let's see what else we got. So, Carrie, yeah, get me on live chat. I'll get a link for you, and we'll fix you up there. Yeah, I got a lot of sun yesterday. I don't know if you can tell that it's hot in here. Everything's hotter when you have a sunburn. So, yeah. Someone just asked me a good question on live chat. She said, do you think Simple Sites Bootcamp is better, or is it better to get a high-ticket niche? Bootcamp comes with a high-ticket niche, so you actually get one with it. So if you already have a high-ticket niche, you'll get another one, which is cool. So best of both worlds. Okay. The beach was awesome yesterday. Dead flat calm. I actually prefer waves, although there's been a lot of sharks at the beach we go to, so maybe it's good to be able to see. You know, might be a little scary if you can't see. But yeah, it was really nice. Good water. It was a little bit cool in the water, which I liked. Yeah, the waves were about 2 inches. Although, you know what? I will tell you this. I stood up on a 6-inch wave on a boogie board. So beat that. One of the benefits of being 5 feet tall. But I did stand up. So that was cool. I do want to get a longboard at some point. Okay. Surf fish? I've never been surf fishing. It's pretty cool, though. Yeah, the sharks are little, but they do bite, which is pretty scary. Art says it'd be good to do another video on Wix SEO. I'm not a big fan of Wix, so that's why I don't. All right. Brian, oh, he's answering someone else. So simplesitesbootcamp.com, check it out. This is the value you're getting, which is like absurd. Just go to simplesitesbootcamp.com, fill out that form, and let's start working together. Guys, I know you can do this. You just have to say, I'm willing to do it. Even if you do it on the pay plan, just get in there and say, I'm willing to do it. I'm going to go for it. And ask yourself this. Do you not think a guy who's been at this 20 years can help you make $12.77? Like, really? Do you not think that? Like, that's 10 hosting signups or one signup of a big course, or, you know, that's not that hard to do. What kind of devotion do we need to the business? An hour a day. You could get by with an hour a day once you get going. In the beginning, it's a little tougher. So I would say maybe 2 hours a day in the beginning. But here's the key. Focus your 2 hours on what I tell you to do. Don't dick around on Facebook. Don't goof off. Do what you got to do in those 2 hours. Because so many people, they're like, I spend 10 hours a day. And it's like, yeah, but you're not doing the stuff that makes money. Got to do the stuff that makes money. If you don't, you're forever going to struggle. All righty. Okay. Any other questions? And that's what we teach you. So in that part where we're teaching you the daily skills training, that's going to show you tasks that you can do in 15 minutes a day. You can do 4 of them, you can do 1, you could do 100. But those are the ones that get the pay. Those are the ones that make the money. So we go there, you're like, I'm going to do the stuff that makes money. And I actually have a screenshot of it. Let me see if I have it here. I made a nice screenshot. We're actually making a mailing postcard out of it. So you guys will get a really cool one here. Paulette says, my question is, when you were in your early stages of making your ads, how frequent did you have to change up or tweak those sites that weren't generating any money? Most of the time they generated right out of the get-go, and then I just kind of tweaked them as we went. But some of them, you know, it just depends, like maybe once a month. You know, I like to check on my stuff once a month. That's kind of how I do it. And you always check based on your numbers. So, like, when you make money, you're going to check your numbers every day because you're like, I got to see what I made today. It's like owning a store. What did we pull in today? So you're going to check it, and you'll be like, hey, the numbers were low. Let's go tweak something. Or the numbers were high. Let's do more of that. Loendi says she's coming to Orlando next year and wants to be a success student. Loendi, get in the boot camp. Let's see you in Orlando. Let's hang out. And that's the screenshot of the skills you're going to learn. Okay, these are little skills, little videos, and you're going to learn all these, which is really cool. And it's a cool looking card that I made too, so we got to get those printed up. So, simplesitesbootcamp.com. Get in while we're on the webinar. I'm actually going to change the price at the end of the webinar, so if you're on that button, if you're on the fence, let us know. I'll hang out here as long as you guys need to get your questions answered, and we'll help you out. And if you do need something private question, get us on live chat. I have that open now, and we will help you get this thing rolling. And we're going to help you set this up. We're going to help you find your niche. Even if you don't know what you're doing, where to go, how to do this, your old buddy Marcus has you covered. Loendi's already in. Good. Good to have you in. Okay. Do you have a toolbar that works in Microsoft Edge other than Google? We have a manual version. It doesn't actually work like a toolbar, but we are working on a Edge version. All right, guys. Other questions? And we'll get you squared away. I am sore from the beach yesterday. I think I have tinnitus in this shoulder, and I swim anyway because I like swimming. But Willie's in. Good to have you in, Willie. All right, guys. Any other questions before we close it up and change the price on there? Ricardo, good to have you here. And also, if you guys are new, make sure you subscribe. And how many of you guys enjoyed this? You got some good aha moments from this call. I hope you are, because that's like really the key to making this work. It's really cool. Also, one of the things that's cool that we do with our bootcamp people is you can attend any live training, so like any Orlando meeting, within 12 months of purchasing. So like if you can't make the first one, just come to the next one, which is cool. And then one of the other things we do also is if you feel like you don't get enough out of the first boot camp, you get to join the next one, right? So if for any reason you're like, whatever, I was away on vacation and I couldn't learn enough in the boot camp, or I had to do this, or I had to do my job, we're like, just go on the next one, right? As long as you're honest about it and you're upfront, we're here to help you. Like, this isn't messing around. So like, there you go, right? There are no excuses not to join. And let's see. Zen says, have you had any successes from Canada, success students? Lots of them. Some of the top networks that I work with are Canada. So I've had lots of people in Canada that have made a lot of money. Again, disclaimer, I don't know what you'll make. Most people make nothing, but you guys can see that this is the real deal. Like if you get someone who doesn't give you that disclaimer, they're not going to teach you good because they're not even following the rules. Like, come on now, you got to follow the rules, right? So, cool stuff. Well, we got a lot of live chatters on here. So, I'm trying to do multitasking. I'm not good at multitasking. Okay. Okay, yeah, Zen's on the call too, so cool. All right. Any other questions? And this is cool because you finally have a mentor that like cares. And I care about your success. All right, hold on one second and we'll get this show on the road. Do you guys want to just switch over to live chat and I can help you guys over there, or do you want to do Q&A here still? If you do, just type it in. And we'll get you squared away. Okay. Cool. Yeah, Monday is the first boot camp. You guys are going to love it. So when boot camp starts, will you still be doing your live sessions on Wednesday? Yes. The live sessions are always Wednesday. That's my big one for everyone. So we'll get you squared away on those. Okay. The live ones on Wednesday are always 10 a.m. All right, cool. Any other questions? Are we still streaming? Yeah, I think we are. Monday, we haven't gotten a specific time yet, but it's probably going to be like early afternoon my time. All right, cool. And Zen, you can get signed up too. We got actually, we had a guy come down from Canada last time. I thought that was pretty cool. We actually had a guy come from Japan to one of ours. I was like, wow, you came all the way from Japan for me? He's like, yeah, dude. I was like, okay, cool. And he was funny, too. We cracked up. That guy was hilarious. And that's one thing you'll learn about me is I love to laugh and I love to have fun. And I believe that when you laugh, you have more funny. You have more fun, right? All right, cool. Now, if some of you guys are on a budget, go to marcusmentor.me and get in there. Michael's in Jacksonville. Yeah, that's super close, so you could join boot camp and drive on down. Okay, let's see what else we got. Draven, I'll get your question in just a little bit. All right, cool. So I think that's about it. I'll give you guys till the top of the hour to sign up and get the $700 discount. So get in there now, do that, and we'll get you guys squared away, get you in the boot camp. Thanks again for joining. I hope you guys learned a lot. Hope you had as much fun as I did. And go over to simplesitesbootcamp.com, click sign up, and write me a letter, get me on live chat, send me a message or an email or something. Let me know you're in, introduce yourself, and this will be the first step to making money on the internet. Thanks again for watching. Subscribe, check out our other videos, and I'll see you in Simple Sites Bootcamp over at simplesitesbootcamp.com.